everything depends on supervision at various levels. If the work of a constable or head constable is not supervised properly by the SI, sub-inspector, his work by the next level, his work by the next level, a constant this one, guidance, supervision, these things are necessary.
And Telangana, which are not following the recruitment process suggested by the Union Public Service Commission?
I think Telangana is following to an extent, but Andhra is not following.
So what is the remedy to this?
I think people should be aware that these things are happening. There have been questions raised, and the police, the working of the police in Andhra Pradesh, I touched it, I did not mention that. What happens is somebody says, my sentiments have been hurt. What sentiments, how they have been hurt? I mean, hurting the sentiments, there is a particular section in the IPC, which is again a very, very vague section. So the police go and file, somewhere in Telangana also I've seen somebody said something, you hurt the feelings of Telangana people, somebody says, and then a case is registered against the chap. So all these things are happening. So, and that depends on what type of leadership the DGP provides. So the DGP's position is an extremely important position. So it should be a very objective decision based on UPSC people are not the particular candidates, uncles or anybody, they are independent people. So I think that method should be followed here.
But what is the remedy if it is not followed?
No, the remedy, I can't say anything because, as I said, police is a state subject. It's not a central subject. If center has directed them to make an act, you have not even made that act, in Andhra Pradesh. Though it's called the 2014 one, is called DGP, appointment of DGP rules. It says the DGP will be appointed by the state only. It does not talk about the UPSC commission, the committee constituted by them, sending 6 names, getting a panel, selecting one of them. It doesn't follow. You just appoint somebody. And by the time somebody goes to the court, the aggrieved fellow, if at all, by the time the decision comes, the man retires by that time. So, I think agitation, people must say, why are you not following this? If Kerala, as I told, Kerala is not the only state. There are other states also which are doing fairly well. But I think awareness is the only answer.
And if as you're suggesting, Kerala Act is one of the best acts, why cannot it be standardized across all the states in the country?
They would say Kerala model, Gujarat model, no, which is better. That would lead to problems. But Kerala did nothing extraordinary. They only followed all the recommendations of the Supreme Court. So they have been followed in spirit by Kerala. Some of them have been followed in letter by the others, but without the spirit. Some of them have not even followed, like, as I mentioned, Andhra Pradesh.
I have another question. Today we have an online platform. Today everything is technology. We have e-Seva. We have people who can put their complaints online and where FIRs can be registered. But unfortunately, most of these online platforms, though say that evidences can be uploaded, most of the time the platforms don't work and the evidences are not uploaded, and there is hardly any work going towards making them effective. What do you have to say on that?
No, in the sense, you see, everything depends on supervision at various levels. If the work of a constable or head constable is not supervised properly by the SI, sub-inspector, his work by the next level, his work by the next level, a constant this one, guidance, supervision, these things are necessary. In law, what is that? Free FIR, anywhere FIR, e-FIR, all these things are there, but everyone knows how difficult for the ordinary man to file an FIR. I would give you my own case. I wanted to file an FIR in here because one of the checks given to me by my tenant has bounced, not one. For 6 months, he has been giving bogus checks and they all bounced. So it is a criminal. There are civil action as well as criminal action for this. So I wanted to take the route of criminal action. I went to the police and filed a case. They would not register 3 years ago. They would not register a case. Then I went to the High Court here because one lawyer told me, let's go to the High Court. High Court gave a directive saying that this reveals an offense, criminal offense. So please record. Achha, before that, I spoke to the police commissioner here, the ex-police commissioner, you know. So who is a good friend of mine. He told the police fellows, please look into this. Still, there was a lot of delay. Then I went to the High Court. High Court directed. Then only that case was registered. And the moment the case was registered, within 15 days, my money came back. The fellow. So, you see, the point is, you must exercise.
You're a home secretary, so knowledgeable, and you had to take so much of action. And once the action was taken, even without going to court, you've received your money. But what is the status of common man?
I am just mentioning that everything, you know, there is no free this one. I mean, you have to struggle. You have to point out these things. I'm not joking. Anjani Kumar, the police commissioner, I had talked to him. He said, you file these charges for just delaying. Then I went to the Supreme Court. I got the entire case papers. On the basis, again, I'm trying to file a case in New Bombay where I have got another house. But those people again are resisting, saying, because I'm in Hyderabad, so they say you're in Hyderabad, we don't want to register the case here. These people say, no, we don't want to register because the offense has taken place in New Bombay. So jurisdiction problems. You are talking of free FIR, and then it would be transferred to the concerned, police station. There is no problem. But these things happen, you know.
So eternal
vigilance is the price of democracy. As they say, eternal vigilance is the price of your getting your right enforced.
So there was a time when, to get a telephone, you had to wait for 6 months. To get a gas cylinder, you had to wait for a couple of years. But somewhere, some people like you who have come forward and made changes has made life a lot more easier in the country. If intellectuals like you could come out knowing very well that these are the problems, the first step, as you said, is the FIR needs to be filed. Because once the FIR is filed, definitely most people do not want to get into the rut of the police and the court. So at least I feel, I'm of the opinion at least 50% of the cases would get resolved there itself. So who can think about these changes and bring about these changes? Today, if somebody has a problem, why are they not comfortable to go to a police station and place a FIR rather than going to the local politician or a local person with brawn to sort out this issue? What is the reason we are, what are the remedies we can get in the country as intellectuals, as people in this forum? We have 60 people in this forum. As people in this forum, how can we think through and make this change available, happen in the next 10 years in our country? I
think it would take, the change would come, the change is coming slowly. As I said, better educated people are coming. I tell you, till very recently, how the recruitment of the police was being done in Bihar. One day they would announce, and then they would ask, 10,000 fellows would come. They would make them run from one place to another, some 16 kilometers or whatever it is. They would pick up some of those chaps. Who ran, who did not run, nobody knows anything. And then minimum qualification is there. So the politician would say, isko lagao, and all that. Those people have been recruited. As I told you, after filling in the post, if you don't train him, what is the use of that fellow? Lathi leke firta rahenge idhar udhar. So training facilities are not there. Your training institute can train 300 people. If you accumulate for 10 years, you don't recruit, and all of a sudden, it's like eating all your year's nourishment food on one day. How can you eat? So, but I want to ask you a question. People are reluctant to go to the police station to file an FIR, you have said. You answer me, why are you reluctant? Because of the behavioral pattern of some of these fellows who have not been trained, they have not been given a vision, they have not been given a focus, they have not even, the mandate is not clear to them. More recruit to the police, leave them to their, resources. That is the trouble. Systematic, this one is 9 months. Don't you think 9 months training, which includes also the district training and all, is too little for a policeman?
It is.
For lack of time, I did not tell you how the recruitment is made in England. They, as I told you, they pick up from the 10th standard on, 5 years they train them, they give a degree. And then in the colleges, they are promoted in the colleges, like BA Economics, BA Social, BA Police Science.
Wow.
That is another route through which they take. Why don't you do these things?
Your advice on taking people young, your advice on having a training session, especially like a BA police or on forensics or on new scientific measures, are fantastic. There is a question from Mr. Aditam Subbarao. So we understand that many states have yet to implement the guidelines issued by the Honorable Supreme Court in the matter of custodial care of those that are arrested for various reasons. As a consequence, therefore, the police in all these laggard states enjoy unlimited freedom for indulgence in custodial torture and extortion. Could you kindly enlighten us on the current position in this regard?
You see, as I told you, the same reply I would give you. The courts swing to one extreme. The police swing to another extreme. I would tell you a case. I mean, they look like, fancy stories. People used to tell me theft. It is very difficult to find out theft. If somebody has taken you or these things, it is a difficult process. The fellow would go and sell somewhere. You don't know, somebody must see him and all that. It is difficult to. In America and England, theft cases are not handled by the police. They are insurance. Insurance covers the whole thing. So they get it, replaced from the insurance company. But here, theft is a major, this one. There was a case, people say, a magistrate was troubling these fellows every day, saying that, why is the sort of not recovering? So the magistrate was taken and shown some jewelry, which police said they've recovered. And he said, you find out which is yours, there's a lot of it. So he picked up something and went. It was not his, but he got something, so he kept quiet. So similarly, there are other stories saying that, why are you mistreating these fellows and all that? So one of the police known fellow was asked to go and throw stones at the magistrate's house. The magistrate then said, why are you, he was questioning, saying that, sir, have you taken the money? Have you done the theft and all that? Why are you so nice to this fellow who has committed the crime? Sir, in the judgment, you have passed orders saying that we should be civil to these fellows. Kindly, we should be courteous to these fellows. We must question them properly. We should not use rough language. Who will tell you, have you taken my money? Who is going to tell you? So there are two extremes. I think somewhere the balance would come with the better people coming into the police force, old habits dying, showing them a guidance, what should be done and all that.